Over a century ago, one man claimed to have discovered a hidden law that could make anyone rich, not through luck, not through inheritance, but through a precise method of thought and action. His name was Wallace Delois Wattles, and his discovery became one of the most mysterious teachings in the history of success. Most people have heard of Napoleon Hill or Rhonda Byrne, but few know the man whose ideas started it all. Wallace Delois Wattles revealed that there is a science to getting rich, a predictable process that works for anyone who follows it with understanding and faith. This is not a promise of instant fortune or blind luck. It is a philosophy that explains why some people rise while others remain trapped by limitation. Wattles believed that wealth was not an accident, but a natural effect of thinking and acting in harmony with universal law. He taught that the universe itself is a living, intelligent energy that responds to human thought. When you learn to think in a certain way, this energy begins to arrange people, opportunities, and events to fulfill your vision. If you are hearing this message, perhaps it is not by chance. Stay with this video until the end and listen carefully, because what you're about to learn can reshape the way you see money, work, and even life itself. And if you believe more people should know this truth, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Your simple action helps spread wisdom that has been forgotten for generations. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote during a time of great change, the dawn of the 20th century, when the world was shifting from survival to creation. Yet his words feel even more relevant today. He wrote that every human being has the right to be rich, not out of greed, but out of a divine need to express life completely. To be rich, he said, means to live fully, to develop your mind, body, and soul, to contribute, to give, and to expand. Poverty limits expression. Wealth amplifies it. In this full explanation of the science of getting rich, you will explore the laws that govern abundance and learn how to apply them in your own life. This is not theory. It is a practice. You will discover how thought becomes reality, how gratitude opens the door to opportunity, and how faith transforms invisible ideas into visible results. As you listen, allow each idea to settle in your mind. Let the words of Wallace Delois Wattles remind you that you were never meant to struggle endlessly, but to create freely. And while you watch, share your thoughts in the comments. What does being rich mean to you? Freedom? Peace? The ability to give more? Your insight might inspire someone else to change their life today. This is the beginning of a journey into timeless wisdom, a path that connects the invisible power of thought with the tangible results of action. The science of getting rich is not just about money. It is about mastering the laws of creation itself. Wallace Delois Wattles began his book with one of the most radical truths ever written. He said that whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a truly complete or successful life unless one is rich. These words disturbed the comfortable and awakened the dreamers. Wattles was not praising greed. He was exposing a truth most people fear to admit, that to grow, to give, and to live fully, you must first have enough. To Wallace Delois Wattles, being rich was not about possessing gold or chasing luxury. It was about expressing life at its highest level. Every human being, he said, has the divine right to develop their mind, their body, and their soul. Poverty suppresses this expansion. Wealth allows it. When you have resources, time, and freedom, you can become more of who you were meant to be. You can create, contribute, and live in harmony with the laws of the universe. He explained that the desire for wealth is not a sin. It is the desire for a richer, fuller, more abundant life. And that desire comes directly from the creative impulse of life itself. Every living thing seeks to expand. The seed seeks to sprout. The child seeks to learn. The soul seeks to create. When you long for more, you are not being selfish. You are responding to the same force that expands stars across the universe. Wallace Delois Wattles wanted people to understand that wealth is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to everyone who aligns with the laws of creation. The universe does not play favorites. It responds only to order, to thought, and to action. Those who think in harmony with abundance attract it. Those who think in harmony with lack repel it. He said that life cannot express itself fully through a person who is constantly limited by fear or financial struggle. To live in harmony with the creative force, you must rise above limitation. You must allow yourself to be a channel for more life, not less. When you expand your own life, you expand the life of everyone around you. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to engage. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below sharing what abundance means to you. Your energy and participation help spread the timeless wisdom of Wallace Delois Wattles to more minds around the world. True wealth, according to Wallace Delois Wattles, is not about possession, but progression. It is about advancing yourself and others. When you grow in wisdom, love, and creative power, you bring more of the divine into the world. To deny your desire for more is to deny the universe its expression through you. To embrace it is to join the endless rhythm of expansion that keeps creation alive. Every person listening to these words has the right to be rich, not for vanity, but for purpose, not to dominate others, but to serve life more completely. The moment you accept this truth, you begin to see money not as a struggle, but as a tool, a sacred instrument that allows you to fulfill your highest potential. Remember, you were not born to suffer or to settle. You were born to create, to express, and to expand. The right to be rich is the right to live. To claim it is not arrogance. It is obedience to the law of life itself. Wallace Delois Wattles taught that getting rich is not a matter of luck or chance. It is not reserved for a special few, nor is it controlled by mysterious powers that favor some and ignore others. He declared with certainty that there is a science of getting rich, and anyone who learns and applies its principles with faith and consistency must prosper. Just as there are laws that govern the growth of plants, the movement of the planets, and the flow of electricity, there are laws that govern the creation of wealth. These laws are universal and exact. When you think and act in harmony with them, results appear as surely as the sunrise follows the night. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that riches come to those who do things in a certain way. This certain way is the essence of his entire philosophy. It means thinking with clarity, acting with purpose, and trusting completely in the creative intelligence that responds to thought. When your mind holds a clear image of what you want and your actions express faith in that vision, the universe begins to organize circumstances to make it real. He wrote that everything in existence is made of a formless, intelligent substance, a creative energy that fills all space. This energy is sensitive to thought. Every idea you hold with feeling imprints upon it and begins to take shape in the physical world. The universe does not choose who to favor. It simply obeys the laws of creation. You think, you feel, you act, and the results appear according to the pattern you hold within your mind. Wallace Delois Wattles urged people to stop blaming fate or the system. He said that failure is not mysterious. It is merely the result of thinking and acting out of harmony with the laws that govern success. When your mind is filled with fear, envy, and doubt, you send out conflicting vibrations that cancel your creative power. But when you think with faith, gratitude, and purpose, you align with the current of abundance that flows through everything. He compared this process to mathematics. 2 + 2 always equals 4. The same law applies to wealth. When you think and act in the certain way, riches must come. When you think and act in confusion or fear, they cannot. There is no favoritism, no randomness, only law. Wallace Delois Wattles wanted to remove mystery from the idea of success. He believed that anyone could master this science just as anyone can learn to plant and harvest crops. You do not need to beg the universe or struggle endlessly. You simply need to understand the rules and follow them with faith. If this truth inspires you, take a moment to engage. Like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Every act of engagement helps spread the wisdom of Wallace Delois Wattles to more people seeking to master the same science. He reminded us that you do not need to understand how the universe works in every detail to use it. You do not need to know how electricity travels through wires to turn on a light. You only need to understand that the power exists, trust it, and use it. The laws of abundance work in the same way. When you think and act with understanding, the results are guaranteed. The science of getting rich is not about working harder or competing with others. It is about working in harmony with universal law. It is about thinking clearly, feeling deeply, and acting boldly. The person who learns this science and lives it becomes unstoppable, because their success is no longer based on chance. It is built upon the very structure of reality itself. Wallace Delois Wattles taught that opportunity is never closed to anyone. No person, organization, or system can monopolize the flow of wealth or block another from rising. He explained that wealth is not a limited pie to be divided among a few, but an ever-expanding ocean of abundance available to everyone who understands how to receive from it. Many believe that success is already taken by others, that the best ideas, jobs, or chances are gone. Wallace Delois Wattles shattered that illusion. He said that the universe is endlessly creative, producing new channels, new ideas, and new ways for prosperity to appear every day. The moment one path closes, another opens. The person who thinks in harmony with abundance sees possibilities everywhere, while the one who thinks in scarcity sees only obstacles. He wrote that competition belongs to an old, limited mindset. The competitive person believes that resources are scarce and must be fought for. The creative person knows that resources are infinite and must simply be aligned with. The creative person builds rather than battles. They focus not on taking from others, but on producing new value for life itself. When you think creatively instead of competitively, your mind becomes tuned to the higher vibrations of prosperity. You stop pushing against others and start cooperating with the universe. Ideas begin to appear. People arrive at the right time. Situations unfold naturally. You attract instead of chase. Wallace Delois Wattles emphasized that opportunity is everywhere, waiting for recognition. It does not matter where you live or what your current position is. The same universal laws operate in every city, every village, every corner of the planet. The person who learns to think and act in a certain way can create wealth even in the middle of difficulty, because opportunity is not external. It is a reflection of the consciousness within. He reminded his readers that every great invention, every company, every work of art began in a single mind that refused to see limitation. What looks like a closed door to one person is often the beginning of an entirely new creation for another. The difference lies only in thought. If this perspective speaks to you, take a moment to support the message. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share a comment describing one opportunity you have recently recognized. Your insight may help someone else open their mind to the possibilities waiting around them. Wallace Delois Wattles said that no one is kept poor because others have wealth. The universe is not exhausted by success. It multiplies through it. When you create, you expand the whole. The rise of one person contributes to the rise of all. There is no shortage, only infinite capacity. Understanding this truth releases you from jealousy and fear. It reminds you that you are connected to the same source of supply as every successful person who ever lived. You do not need permission to prosper. You need only the awareness that opportunity is abundant and always unfolding for those who think creatively and act faithfully. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that the key to creation begins in thought. Everything you see in the world existed first as an idea in someone's mind. Every building, every invention, every piece of art began as thought impressed upon the creative substance of the universe. To think in the certain way, he said, is to think like the Creator itself, with clarity, confidence, and unwavering faith. He warned that most people think in a scattered and unfocused manner. Their thoughts jump from hope to fear, from desire to doubt, and this constant conflict produces nothing. The universe cannot respond to confusion. It responds to certainty. When your mind holds a definite picture of what you want, and you sustain it with faith and gratitude, that image begins to form in the invisible substance that surrounds you. Wallace Delois Wattles said that you must never think of what you do not want. To focus on lack, failure, or debt is to multiply those very things. Thought is creative, and what you continually dwell upon expands. Instead, you must hold your mind steadily upon the vision of abundance, as though it were already yours. See it clearly, feel it deeply, act as if it is already real. This is not pretending. It is aligning your inner world with the law that governs creation. He compared this process to using a lens to focus sunlight. The rays are scattered until they are concentrated, and then they ignite fire. Thought works the same way. Scattered thinking produces weak results. Focused thought, united with emotion and faith, becomes a powerful force that must create results in the physical world. Wallace Delois Wattles reminded his readers that the mind is a tool of creation, not a record of limitation. You are not here to think about what exists. You are here to think about what can exist. The person who learns to hold a mental image with gratitude and purpose is already walking the path of mastery. He said that when you begin to think in the certain way, you must resist the temptation to be discouraged by appearances. The outer world may not change instantly, but the invisible world begins to shift the moment your inner picture becomes consistent. Hold the vision, trust the law, continue to think and act as though success were already secured. If these words inspire you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with the phrase, "I think in the certain way." Every engagement helps spread the wisdom of Wallace Delois Wattles to more people ready to awaken their creative power. He taught that faith, gratitude, and right thinking are inseparable. Gratitude keeps you connected to the source. Faith keeps you focused on what you want. Right thinking directs that power toward creation. When these three combine, the universe must respond. The certain way of thinking is not about force. It is about harmony, being in tune with the rhythm of life itself. When you master your thoughts, you master your world. And when you hold your mind upon the vision of what you desire with love and gratitude, that vision becomes a command to the universe that cannot be denied. Wallace Delois Wattles called gratitude the most powerful connection between human thought and the creative energy of the universe. Gratitude, he said, is the key that unlocks abundance. It is the invisible bridge that links your desire with its fulfillment. When you are truly grateful, you are in harmony with the source of all creation, and the universe must respond to that harmony. He explained that when a person lives in a state of constant gratitude, their mind becomes magnetized with positivity. They no longer vibrate in lack or fear, but in the confident awareness that everything they need is already moving toward them. Gratitude is not simply saying thank you. It is a deep recognition that you are already connected to all that you desire. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote that the whole process of mental adjustment and alignment can be summed up in one word: gratitude. Gratitude keeps you close to the source from which all blessings flow. When you give thanks for what you already have, you align your thoughts with the creative intelligence that brings more of it into your life. When you complain or focus on what is missing, you disconnect yourself from that flow and attract more lack. He urged his readers to practice gratitude for both the seen and the unseen. Be thankful for the opportunities you already enjoy, and also for the ones that are forming invisibly through your thoughts. Every act of genuine gratitude increases your power to attract. It raises your vibration and tunes you to the frequency of abundance. Wallace Delois Wattles said that gratitude transforms desire into faith. When you are grateful, you no longer worry about how or when. You trust that the same power that created worlds is now working for you. Gratitude turns fear into peace, impatience into trust, and scarcity into sufficiency. If these words move you, take a moment to pause and reflect on one thing you are grateful for right now. Then, if this message resonates, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share a comment about something you appreciate in your life today. Your energy of gratitude adds to the field of abundance we are all connected to. He taught that gratitude must be continuous, not occasional. To wake each morning thankful for the new day, to act with appreciation throughout your work, and to rest at night in peaceful acknowledgement of progress, this is the way to remain in harmony with the creative energy that never stops giving. Gratitude does not ignore challenges, it transforms them. When you give thanks, even for what seems difficult, you are affirming that something greater is unfolding. You are saying to the universe, I trust your process. And in that trust, doors open, ideas appear, and strength is renewed. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote that the thankful mind is constantly fixed upon the best. Therefore, it becomes the best. It takes the form and quality of the thoughts it holds. To cultivate a grateful heart is to live in perpetual creation, expanding, receiving, and giving all at once. True gratitude, he said, is not just a feeling, it is a way of life. It is walking through the world knowing that every breath, every opportunity, and every challenge is part of your growth toward greater expression of life. When you live in gratitude, you live in alignment with abundance itself. Wallace Delois Wattles taught that thought alone is not enough. Thinking creates the vision, but action brings that vision into form. He said that faith without effort is like a seed never planted. It contains life, but no harvest. To manifest wealth, you must act in the certain way. Acting in the certain way means doing today all that can be done today, doing it efficiently and doing it with purpose. Every task, no matter how small, must be performed with your mind focused on the goal and your heart anchored in gratitude. When you act with this awareness, you move in rhythm with the creative force that governs the universe. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that many people wait for the perfect time, the perfect idea, or the perfect conditions to begin. But those who understand the law of creation know that the perfect time is always now. You cannot act in the past, and you cannot act in the future. You can only act in the present moment, and the present moment is sacred. He said that the person who acts with faith and purpose in every moment becomes irresistible to success. They do not rush, they do not fear, they do not compete. They simply act with confidence, knowing that every move, no matter how small, carries the vibration of creation. Wallace Delois Wattles urged his readers to stop trying to control results and focus instead on right action. When you work with joy and gratitude, your actions radiate creative energy. People are drawn to it. Opportunities recognize it. Circumstances align with it. The universe mirrors your effort and multiplies your return. Acting in the certain way also means giving your best wherever you are. If your current position feels small, treat it as the foundation for something greater. Excellence in the little things creates mastery in the big things. Success is not about doing more. It is about doing what you do with the consciousness of creation. He reminded his readers that action without faith becomes mechanical, and faith without action becomes fantasy. The two must work together. When thought, faith, and action align, manifestation becomes inevitable. If this teaching speaks to you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share a comment describing one small action you will take today toward your vision. Your commitment, even in writing it down, strengthens the creative energy within you. Wallace Delois Wattles emphasized that you must never act in haste or desperation. Those emotions arise from fear, and fear blocks creation. Instead, act calmly and confidently, knowing that the universe is already working with you. You are not forcing outcomes, you are allowing them to unfold. The certain way of action is the way of harmony. Each step, taken with clarity, gratitude, and faith, draws you closer to your desire. When you live and act with that mindset, your work becomes a form of prayer, your movement becomes creation, and your life becomes proof that the science of getting rich is real. Wallace Delois Wattles said that faith is the foundation of all creation. Without faith, thought wavers and action loses power. Faith is not a blind hope, it is the calm, confident knowing that what you desire already exists in the unseen and is moving toward you. It is the inner certainty that the laws of the universe never fail. He taught that faith and purpose must work together. Faith gives life to the vision, and purpose directs its movement. Purpose is the compass that keeps you focused when the world tries to distract you. Faith is the energy that carries you forward when nothing seems to happen. When both unite, they form an unstoppable creative force. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote that every great person has learned to rely on something greater than themselves. They see beyond appearances and trust in the invisible process unfolding behind every event. They act not from fear or impatience, but from a deep awareness that creation is already in motion. He warned that doubt is the only thing that can block your progress. Doubt disconnects you from the flow of life. It sends conflicting messages to the creative substance and disrupts the process of manifestation. When you allow fear to dominate your mind, you break the vibration of faith that holds your vision together. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that the antidote to doubt is gratitude. Every time you feel uncertain, give thanks that your desire is already being fulfilled. Gratitude turns your attention away from worry and back toward trust. It restores your alignment with the universal current of abundance. He reminded his readers that faith must be exercised daily. You build it like a muscle through repetition and use. The more you act with faith, the stronger it becomes, and as your faith grows, your world begins to transform to match it. If these teachings awaken something within you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment the phrase, "I live with faith and purpose." Each interaction strengthens the reach of this message and invites others to awaken to the same truth. Wallace Delois Wattles said that your purpose must be clear. It is not enough to wish vaguely for better things. You must know exactly what you want, why you want it, and how it serves life. When your purpose aligns with the good of all, the universe supports you completely. Faith and purpose together form the heartbeat of creation. Faith connects you to the invisible power. Purpose directs it toward visible results. When you live with both, obstacles lose their power, and every challenge becomes part of your advancement. He said that when you hold your vision with unshakable faith and act daily with purpose, your success becomes inevitable. You no longer wait for miracles, you create them. And through this union of belief and direction, you step into the divine rhythm of abundance that never ends. Wallace Delois Wattles taught that the key to lasting success lies in helping others advance. True wealth is never taken, it is created. He wrote that you cannot become truly rich unless your actions bring increase to everyone you touch. Every transaction, every relationship, every piece of work should leave the other person feeling more abundant than before. He said that the world does not reward those who take advantage of others, but those who make life better for others. The universe itself expands through service. When you contribute to the growth of another, you open the channels for your own growth. What you give in value returns multiplied because creation always rewards expansion. Wallace Delois Wattles urged his readers to abandon the competitive mindset and adopt the creative one. The competitive person focuses on getting. The creative person focuses on giving. The competitive person sees limitation. The creative person sees endless possibility. To advance, every person you meet is to act as the universe acts, constantly creating, improving, and giving more life. He explained that this principle applies to all areas of life. Whether you are a teacher, an artist, an entrepreneur, or a worker, your purpose is to add value to the world. Do your work so well that it elevates everyone connected to it. The energy of advancement is magnetic. It draws opportunities, prosperity, and harmony to you naturally. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote that you should hold a mental image of increase whenever you interact with others. See every person as growing, evolving, and becoming more. Think of them as richer in every way because of their contact with you. When you think of others in this way, you send them mental currents of abundance that unconsciously influence their growth and draw them closer to you. He said that the person who constantly thinks and acts for increase becomes an advancing personality. People feel drawn to them without knowing why. Their energy uplifts others. Their presence inspires trust and confidence. Such a person becomes a source of opportunity for everyone they encounter. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to support this channel. Like this video, subscribe, and write a comment sharing one way you plan to add value to someone else's life today. Your small act of engagement helps spread the wisdom of Wallace Delois Wattles to more people who are ready to live with purpose and abundance. Wallace Delois Wattles said that you must never exploit or manipulate others in the pursuit of gain. When you seek to lift others, the universe lifts you. When you act selfishly, you separate yourself from the flow of abundance. Prosperity is the natural result of alignment with the law of increase, and that law always favors generosity. He reminded us that true riches are not measured by accumulation, but by contribution. Every time you give joyfully, teach sincerely, or serve wholeheartedly, you multiply the creative energy that sustains the universe. The person who gives more to life than they take will never be without supply. To live the science of getting rich is to live as an advancing soul, one who leaves every person, place, and situation better than they found it. When you make that your way of life, wealth flows effortlessly, not as a reward, but as a reflection of who you have become. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that riches do not come by chance or by the favor of others. They come through the operation of exact laws. When you think and act in harmony with those laws, the flow of wealth begins to move toward you in ways that often seem miraculous to those who do not understand. But to the person who lives by this science, these results are natural, predictable, and inevitable. He said that riches come through the creation of value and the attraction of opportunity. The universe is a living system of cause and effect. Every thought, emotion, and action sends out a vibration that eventually returns multiplied. When your vibration is one of faith, gratitude, and creative purpose, the entire universe begins to rearrange itself to fulfill your intention. Wallace Delois Wattles taught that you must not concern yourself with the visible channel through which wealth appears. Do not try to decide from where the money will come or through whom the opportunity will arrive. That is the work of the universe, not yours. Your responsibility is to hold the vision, act with purpose, and remain in gratitude. The form of fulfillment will take care of itself. He wrote that riches will come in the form of ideas, circumstances, and relationships. You will meet people who are drawn to you, inspired by you, and ready to cooperate with you. The things you need will arrive in perfect order. As you hold the image of abundance and move forward in faith, invisible forces will move in your favor. Wallace Delois Wattles reminded his readers to never look to the world of appearances as the source of supply. The creative power that brings wealth is unseen. It flows through everything and responds to the impressions made upon it by your thought. When you think of abundance, you invite abundance. When you think of limitation, you attract limitation. He explained that you cannot receive what you are not prepared to hold. Therefore, your inner state must match your outer desire. If you wish to receive abundance, you must think abundance, speak abundance, and act in abundance now. This alignment opens the channels through which riches flow. He warned against the attitude of desperation. The person who chases money repels it. The one who works in gratitude and peace attracts it. When you trust the law and move with calm expectation, you create a magnetic field that draws every needed resource to you without struggle. Wallace Delois Wattles said that wealth often comes quietly. It appears through a steady increase of opportunities, better decisions, and improved circumstances. It does not crash into your life. It grows like a tree, rooted in the soil of faith and gratitude. You may not see results immediately, but the growth is always happening beneath the surface. If this understanding resonates with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel and comment with the phrase, "I trust the law of abundance." Your voice and energy help bring this wisdom to others who are ready to awaken their creative potential. He concluded that the person who maintains unwavering faith and acts with gratitude cannot fail. The universe is precise. It does not play favorites. It simply mirrors what you continually hold in consciousness. When your mind, heart, and actions are united in purpose, riches must come, for the same reason that gravity makes objects fall. To Wallace Delois Wattles, wealth was not a mystery to be solved, but a law to be lived. To understand that law is to become a conscious creator capable of shaping your reality with thought, emotion, and action. The riches you desire are not distant. They are waiting for you to align with the rhythm of creation and allow them to flow into your life. Wallace Delois Wattles wrote that the final step in the science of getting rich is not only to think and act in the certain way, but to live in it. To live in the certain way means to embody the principles of faith, gratitude, and creative purpose in every moment of your life. It is to make harmony with the universe a habit, not an occasional effort. He said that the person who lives in the certain way never speaks of limitation, never complains, and never allows fear to occupy their mind. Instead, they walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that the same intelligence that sustains the stars is guiding their path. They see abundance everywhere, even in situations where others see lack. Wallace Delois Wattles explained that you must act and speak always from the point of view of abundance, never from the point of view of poverty. When you speak of shortage, you vibrate scarcity. When you speak of gratitude and sufficiency, you vibrate prosperity. The energy you project becomes the life you experience. He taught that living in the certain way requires self-control and awareness. You must watch your thoughts as carefully as a gardener watches the seeds they plant. If weeds of doubt, envy, or fear appear, remove them immediately and replace them with thoughts of faith, gratitude, and expansion. Your mind is the soil in which your destiny grows. Wallace Delois Wattles reminded his readers that this science is not a theory, it is a practice. Every moment is an opportunity to align yourself with abundance. When you think, speak, and act as though you are already rich, you send a message to the universe that you are ready to receive. The outer world cannot resist the vibration of someone living in that certainty. He said that life becomes peaceful when you live in the certain way. You no longer struggle or chase results. You move with calm assurance, knowing that everything necessary is arriving at the perfect time. You stop comparing yourself to others because you realize that everyone is on their own path of creation. You trust the process completely. Wallace Delois Wattles also wrote that living in the certain way is not only about receiving, it is about giving. When you have more, you give more. When you create more, you share more. Your wealth becomes a channel for universal abundance to express itself through you. This is why the person who truly understands the science of getting rich becomes a blessing to everyone around them. He explained that the more you live in this awareness, the more power flows through you. Ideas come easily. Work feels lighter. People respond positively to your energy. You begin to see evidence of the law working in small ways every day, and those small signs build your faith until you know beyond doubt that you are one with the creative power of the universe. If this truth touches your heart, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the words, "I live in the certain way." Let it be your affirmation that you are now walking in alignment with the wisdom of Wallace Delois Wattles and the science of creation itself. To live in the certain way is to live as a creator, not a competitor. It is to see every situation as an opportunity to express more life. It is to move through the world as an instrument of abundance, a living example of what faith, gratitude, and purpose can achieve. When you reach this state, wealth is no longer your goal. It is the natural outcome of who you have become. Wallace Delois Wattles said that the purpose of life is advancement, and the purpose of advancement is more life for all. When you live in harmony with that purpose, the universe conspires to lift you higher. You no longer merely practice the science of getting rich. You become the science itself, a living demonstration of abundance in motion. Wallace Delois Wattles left the world a simple but powerful message, that every person has the right to be rich, that there is a science behind it, and that this science works with absolute precision. More than a century has passed since he wrote his book, yet his words continue to echo through generations because truth never expires. It only waits for those ready to hear it. He revealed that thought is the origin of all creation, gratitude is the connection to the source, and action is the bridge that transforms thought into form. Together, these three create the foundation of all success. To think clearly, to give thanks sincerely, and to act faithfully, this is the certain way. Wallace Delois Wattles wanted people to understand that wealth is not materialism, it is spiritual growth expressed through form. The purpose of getting rich is not to own more, but to become more, to expand your power, to create, to give, and to inspire. When you are rich in every sense of the word, in thought, in emotion, in spirit, the material world simply reflects that inner abundance. He said that those who apply this science must think only of advancement, advancement for themselves, and advancement for all. You must desire wealth not as a possession, but as a means of expressing more life. Every time you create value, share knowledge, or uplift another, you participate in the same divine law that created the universe. Wallace Delois Wattles believed that if every person learned and practiced these principles, poverty would vanish from the world. The earth is rich with resources, and the universe is overflowing with creative energy. Scarcity exists only in human thought. The moment people begin to think in the certain way, to believe in abundance, to act with faith, and to live in gratitude, the chains of limitation dissolve. He reminded us that the science of getting rich is not new, it is eternal. It existed before the first city was built, before the first coin was minted. It is the same law that governs the birth of a seed, the flow of a river, and the growth of a star. To live by it is to live in harmony with the universe itself. If this message has inspired you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing what abundance means to you today. Your words and energy help this wisdom reach more hearts around the world. The legacy of Wallace Delois Wattles lives on because his teachings are not theories. They are the blueprint for creation. They prove that anyone, anywhere, can rise above limitation and live abundantly by understanding and applying universal law. He said that life is meant for growth, and growth is the expression of life. Therefore, the desire for more is not greed, it is divine. When you desire to become more, you align yourself with the creative purpose of the universe. The science of getting rich is not about wishing, it is about knowing. It is the certainty that your thoughts, filled with faith and gratitude, are powerful enough to shape reality. The moment you accept that truth, you stop waiting for miracles and start becoming one. Wallace Delois Wattles closed his work with a message of empowerment. He said that those who live in faith, act with purpose and maintain gratitude will surely get rich. Not someday, but inevitably. Because law never fails, and the universe never forgets a single thought impressed upon it with conviction and love. So live with faith, think in abundance, act in harmony, give freely, and remember, you are not separate from the creative power that governs all life. You are part of it. You are it. This is the timeless truth of Wallace Delois Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Not just a book, but a map to a higher state of being. Wealth is not a dream, it is your destiny. The universe is waiting for you to claim it.